Welcome. Years ago, I went to college and I just goofed off. It was great. I loved it. I had a great experience, but it cost me something like $50,000 to finish 3 years of college and then not finish. So I finished after a time, thanks to study.com. I'd like to walk you through how it works to go to get some credits through study.com. College credits are interesting. You spend so much money to get these credits. Most of my classes were 3 or 4 credits, and it was you met twice a week for an hour and a half, or 45 minutes, 5 days in a row, or whatever it was. And you may or may not have learned anything, but you had to buy, you know, $300 books for some reason that someone else had already drooled on during their courses. Useless. Did not feel appropriate to waste that kind of money. So when I went back to school, I tried to find the most cost-effective way to do so. Partly because I was, raising two very young kids and had a spouse to answer to for spending that kind of money, and I was not in a job that allowed me to spend a bunch of time or money at the time in order to finish that degree. And I wasn't going to take out more loans. I just wanted to do this as cheaply as possible. So an advisor at the school I went to gave me a couple options. They said, there were a half a dozen places that you could go and take basically learn a little information, take a test, and then you get the credits. At least that is how they explained it. And they said, oh, they're rough. It's not what you're used to. There's no professor. You just, you have to really read the book and take the test. That's going to be how it is. Much to my surprise, study.com was not that at all. Mind you, there was no professor, which was strange and unusual, but also awesome. It's the future is now. So, I got the classes. I got a list of classes that I needed to finish my degree. And I took them to study.com's website, looked up what courses they had available that would meet those requirements. I needed a sociology class, which I was a social sciences major, so I don't know how I didn't have that sociology 100 level course completed, but I had to complete that course. And then I had to finish a lab science. Biology looked fun to me because it had a lab, which I was kind of interested in how they were going to do lab online. So I took those classes. The way that this works is like this. You log in, you have your course in front of you, and you take sections. So there, I think in the in the sociology class, I think there were 100 different lessons that you had to watch the video, which were entertaining and informative. It was great. Both, 2-in-1. You watch the video and then you take a short quiz. Now, when you first start the course, they give you basically the final. When you finish that final, they say, okay, here are the sections that you already have mastered. You already know this, that, or the other thing. So you can skip over those sections. Now, that information will still be on the final, but at least you know enough going into it that you can skip ahead if you need to, and if time is a problem or whatever. So you watch the video and you take the test or the quiz. Each class or each section is only, sometimes they were like 2 minutes long, and it might talk about somebody's idea for sociology or some way to manipulate others. That never happened in that class. But you watch the video. Hopefully you retain a little information, at least long enough to take the quiz, and then at least can recall that information when it's time to take the final. After the class is over, you've done all the little quizzes at the end of each section, then comes time for the final. That is, you do it one of two ways. You either get proctored by someone watching you in real time, or it's proctored by way of you log into the website in an empty room, no electronics, no phones, no weird luxuries. Just, I had to go to the basement and do it because there were TVs in the rest of my house, like most of Americans now. Electronics are everywhere. So to make sure you're not cheating, they have you record yourself. They make you spin your computer around so you can show them that there's not some blackboard on the other wall with all the final answers or anything like that. But and then within a few days, you get the results of your final exam, and they say no cheating. Great job. Once you are done with your final, to get those credits, I can't remember exactly, but it was very short. It might have been 5 or 6 days before my 3 credits in the Biology 100 transferred over to my school. Get a letter from or an email from my advisor saying, you have passed your biology class. Keep it up. Which was great because I had spent money on that and I really wanted to graduate from college. I cannot stress enough how much money I saved and how much time I saved. Sociology class, 3 credits. Biology class, 4 credits because of the lab. 7 credits cost me $200. You will never, ever, ever find anything like that I know of in the known universe. It's a heck of a deal. And it's actually kind of nice. It's pleasant. It's a pleasant experience. Think of that. College at home. Not being unruly. Not being uncool. I would highly suggest study.com because truly, worth it. In every step, it was worth it. Thanks for watching. Have fun finishing that degree.